If you're a branded merch company that needs to generate qualified leads quickly, but doesn't have much time, this video is perfect for you because I'm going to break down the top 7 AI tools alongside their use cases to generate leads, from finding prospects who are in the market for promo by like identifying trade show attendees, using AI agents, all the way to automatically generating like proposals after sales meetings. We're going to cover it all. My lead gen agency actually works with some of the largest promo companies in the world that make up to $100 million annually. And these are some of the tools we're using for them as well to automate their lead gen. So let's get into it. First, we have finding your best customers to target similar ones. So Manus AI is very good for this tool. Let me actually just move back here. So Manus is basically your strategy brain. So you don't have to guess who your best clients are. Manus can analyze your past sales data and find patterns that you miss. Now, if you import a list of your current clients into Manus, what will happen is you can have it conduct like an in-depth analysis. You can get the list from your CRM and just prompt it to find different patterns and, define what industry they're in. So like fintech companies, healthcare, whatever it is. And then what's the ideal company size in terms of headcount? Is it 50 to 200, 200 to 500? What are common job titles of the people who actually signed the checks, right? And then once you've kind of defined your ideal client profile, what Manus can also do is basically find the top spending use cases for each vertical in 2026. So you could ask it, okay, well, now that I know my best customers are B2B SaaS companies, what are the top 3 reasons that, a B2B SaaS company that is 500 to 1,000 headcount buys promo? And it might tell you for employee gifting, it might tell you client referral gifts, whatever it is. And then you can also ask it for the top decision makers, because it's kind of like very good at deep research. So it might do like 5 to 10 minutes worth of research and actually find the people who will be responsible for each use case. So instead of just targeting HR, if your use case is employee gifting, then it might tell you the head of people is the perfect one for the typical B2B fintech SaaS company. You know what I mean? So the more specific you can get and find that specific ideal client profile, it'll find you the decision maker specifically for that use case, which is what I love about Manus. And then now that you kind of know who your ideal profile is, you can just target more prospects who are qualified across your entire marketing. This is very good to just define these people so that wherever you are, you're targeting them. Now, for tool number 2, we basically have the AI lookalike prospect search. So this is a tool called Ocean.io. What it allows you to do, it's kind of the best tool for finding companies that actually do what your best clients do. They're not just like in the same industry. And what I mean by this is you can upload a list of like your top 10 customers inside of Ocean.io. And then what it can do is basically scan the actual text and context of their websites just to understand their business model, using a bunch of AI stuff. And then it can find like 500 or more similar companies that look exactly like them mathematically. So, instead of just, SaaS companies, it can be like B2B HR management platforms, like very specific. And then once you export your list, it can also allow you to find, or within the same tool, Ocean.io, it allows you to find the decision makers that you've just defined in the past step, or it gets not just the decision makers, but their email and their mobile numbers as well, so you can get the full data, so you can start plugging them into your outreach and booking more sales meetings. And then now that you have a lookalike prospect list, what you can also do for buying for tool number 3 is use clay.com. So what Clay does is it basically allows you to identify buying signals within your prospect list. So let's say you build the list on Ocean.io. This literally translates. You can take it into Clay. And what it'll allow you to do is basically run unique data enrichments like AI agents across your entire lead list to find trigger events. And what I mean by this is just events that indicate that a company's in the market for branded merch. So what you can do is you can basically prompt AI agents inside of Clay, it's called ClayGen, to browse the web for specific buying signals for each of your prospects. So are they opening a new office? Are they exhibiting a trade show? Did they post like 10 new job posts, which means that they might need onboarding kits? Or did they just raise Series B, C, or A funding rounds, right? All this stuff is important so that you can basically use this data to target your outreach. So instead of a generic like, hey, do you want to see our catalog? We're a branded merch company. It's like, hey, I saw you're hiring 20 people in Austin. So I just wanted to help you with onboarding kits. So that allows you to target your outreach very well. And you can also, a second use case that's really good for this is if you run an AI image generation enrichment. Basically, you can have AI create images for all the leads in your list. And you might be asking me, well, why do I want to make images? Well, you can actually have it create custom promo samples. So if you can prompt the AI, hey, create Stanley quenchers with this company's logo, and then have it pull its logo first, and then the AI is gonna be able to put it on a Stanley quencher and make it photorealistic. So that's pretty cool. But then once you do this for like 1,000 prospects, now you can plug all of that into an automation tool and start blasting emails that are super relevant and surprising, because prospects are like, what? Like, you've just created an entire sample for me. I've never even spoken to you. Like, yeah, I'll give you 15 minutes for a sales meeting so I can buy from you potentially, right? So that's a very good way to trigger reciprocity, and also just show them your creativity, so that you're not just just another vendor. You're someone who's creative and they're willing to spend money with you. And we've actually done this before, gotten a 75 positive response rate on email, which is something that we've never gotten up until that point, because we used a generated AI image samples, because it does it really well. And then we actually use Manus for it, but Clay is probably the best way to go. And then next we have SEO. So this is basically if you want to create more product accurate AI images. So let's say, you're already speaking to prospects, you have a sales meeting coming up, and you want to, show them a presentation of what promo would look like for them on the call. You want to go really like perfect products with like, the specific sections, everything like that. You don't want to do it at scale. So SEO is really good if you're doing it at a, one by one basis. So it allows you to create custom promo samples, but with, stitching, lighting, texture, like the very specific stuff. You tell it to move the logos around, kind of make it really realistic. And it looks better than the typical AI, because I feel like they've just trained it on products more. It's a really good model that they're using. So yeah, that's basically it. You can also create a custom swag store with it, like create a swag store and add a bunch of images for the prospect just to see, inside of your sales deck, and get them to close more. So this is like a sales tool instead of lead generation, but it's still kind of worth putting in here. And it also saves you hours, because you don't have to wait for a designer to mock up the product, and you don't have to spend as much money. I think they're a subscription. They have like a 30-day free trial. You can just rip as many mock-ups as you want potentially. So yeah, that's pretty good. Now, so you have a prospect list, you have a way to, generate good proposals for them. Now you want to do your outbound. The most important thing is outbound, in my opinion, in terms of, branded merch leads, because you need to reach targeted prospects at scale, just to find the ones who are most likely going to be in the market for promo, and to book as many meetings as possible to grow your company. So these two tools, Smart Lead and Salesfinity. Smart Lead allows you to automate cold email. Salesfinity allows you to use AI to be more efficient with cold calling. So what this looks like is, let's start off with Smart Lead. So Smart Lead is a cold email engine, right? You set up domains, inboxes, everything inside there. You warm up your emails so that they land in the primary inbox, not in spam. And then you automate everything from there. You launch cold email campaigns to your prospect lists. You follow up with leads. You categorize your replies. You manage the inbox, everything from inside the tool. It's amazing. And then we have Salesfinity, which is a parallel dialer. So it basically allows you to call up to 5 people at once. And then it also uses AI to detect voicemails to kind of navigate and find the people who would be most likely to pick up, so that you're not connected to this message is unavailable, this person's unavailable. It really wastes your rep's time. So what could take one rep like 4 hours on Salesfinity, it could really take you like 30 minutes. It is incredible how efficient you can get. You can make less. You can make dials for less amount of time, book more meetings, and it's incredible. So very efficient tools right here if you want to automate your outbound. And then now, if we want to go into the final tool, sales proposals. So this is Manus again. But the interesting part here is, once you've actually booked the meeting, you're going to need to close them. We've covered SEO, but Manus is super important, because Manus is what built this this deck that I'm on right now. Like this cool deck I'm showing you is built by Manus. So Manus can write code for you to build fully interactive web-based sales decks and proposals. So this is like an agentic AI, by the way. That's why it's able to do a bunch of stuff. It allows you to, it's a task-based AI. It's not a conversational AI like GPT. It's more so here to get stuff done, build your proposals, do research, and really go all in. So with Manus, what you can do is it can set up web-based sales decks instead of proposals on PDFs. You can actually have like a full website for the prospect for every single sales call you have, and it only takes Manus like 5 to 10 minutes worth of prompting and stuff, or maybe even 10 minutes is good. And you can also include like the custom swag images that you generated, pricing tables, checkout flow, all that cool stuff. You can include it here. You can show them visuals of what their swag store would look like you can see here. So it's absolutely incredible what you can do with Manus. It shows that you're tech forward company. You're not just another vendor who's going to send like a 20 megabyte, PDF attachment. You're actually creative, and you're on the modern stuff. So this is beautiful. So there I have it. Yeah, this is the exact tech stack. If you want to see exactly how we would build these systems, or if you want us to just build it for you specifically, you can click the link in the description to book a strategy call with me, and I kind of walk you through how we would use these tools to get you leads. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more real B2B lead gen content. See you in the next one. Peace.